I'm a hero, I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in the lounge as we scream. You know me, my Morgan, subject boy, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man.
Hello, true believers. Welcome back to the episode of Comic Conversations. You caught me reading Transformers #1 again. It's my reader copy. Yeah, I love this book. This is actually a sign of things to come tonight. We have a very special guest. He needs no introduction, but you know what? He deserves one. So we're going to give him one. I call him the greatest voice in YouTube, in the YouTube community, collectible and comic book community. And I think he deserves a good intro. So I hope he likes it. And this will give you another hint of who it is.
Woo! I love that. Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, I think we'll keep that one too because I like that where he's turning into Galvatron, right? I think it's if my memory serves me.
Yep. That's Galvatron. When Megatron turns into Galvatron. That's where Unicron turns.
You notice when I did all the promo posts for this show tonight, it's like, you got the touch.
I loved it. I was like, oh yeah,
I love that song. That video is so like 80s cheese though, like where he's got the guitar and he's deflected. I love that. I don't know why. I just love that kind of thing.
It's a great song, just in general, you know. And there's arguments as to like what's the best intro song of the '80s, right? In cartoons, a lot of people say the Transformers one is, you know, and that's fantastic.
I'll tell you a close second to me as far as like animated movies of the '80s is the G.I. Joe the movie. G.I. Joe,
boom,
dun, dun, dun.
Yep,
that slaps. That slaps, man. I mean, you know what?
All right. This is almost sacrilege to say, but what if I tell you I have a strong feeling and possibly an argument for the G.I. Joe movie intro being even better than the Transformer one? You know, I love just that first beat, right? Don, just that bass hit. Boom, boom, boom.
That would be a good hip hop track to sample. That would be a good
I would love to hear that.
We need to. Hey, you know what we need to do? I don't know if you're going next year, but I'm going to Heroes Con again next year because I had so much fun. You know how much fun I had, Eman. You know how much fun I had,
dude. Meeting you and then seeing you and just seeing the joy, and that was the best part of Heroes Con. You know, I didn't even get to hunt for comics. I don't even think I looked for comics. Just seeing the joy on people's faces when we finally got to meet each other was like the coolest thing. You know, just seeing Steve I want to say Berkeley, Berkland.
Yeah.
Seeing Steve and him grinning, and then seeing Louis. Louis freaked me out because he gives me a hug. He's like, "Oh man, it's Eman." I'm like, "Who is this?"
Louis is so high energy. He's such high energy. It's just like it's infectious to be around. I mean,
oh my god, right? And not gonna lie, I'll throw this out there, dude. Louis got a body too. That dude like worked out. I'm like, oh man,
I need him as my personal trainer, man. I need to cut a little weight.
Like, whoa, Louis, hey there, guy, man, go on.
You can do it.
And it was just in general just amazing to be able to meet everyone at Heroes. It was just the greatest and funnest thing ever.
Well, I'm saying though, we should talk to DJ Links because he's not called DJ Links for nothing. And maybe we could get him to do a remix of it. We'll do a rap. We'll do like a Heroes Con rap with a G.I. Joe beat.
I wonder if he can, right? Like, you know, monetization.
We couldn't share it on YouTube, but we could do it like for our own.
I think you should, if it's a parody, I think it could work. Louis does it all the time, right? Louis does it all the time, right? And it's like, well, why not? Why can't someone remix, like an actual remix?
Yeah, DJ's here. DJ, we need to get on this remix. Next year at Heroes Con. I know you're going. You know I'm going. We'll form a super group for one day. I don't know. It'd be fun. But the G.I. Joe theme is the bomb. And actually, DJ Links, by the way, I watched Maniac Cop about 2 weeks ago during Halloween.
He suckered you into it, didn't he?
And you know what? I like it more now than I did when I was younger. So that's for you, buddy. All right.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
not
we'll
gonna
start
like it.
the
I've
remix on that. We got
never.
Roscoe here. DJ Links is in the house. I appreciate you guys showing up. I'd like to also, before we get started, like I'm really humbled by what happened last weekend. I didn't think I was going to win one award, so I won two. I know it's just kind of like, how do you say it, mom and pop award. It's not like I won the Academy Award or anything. I know that, but for me, I almost felt like Michael Jordan for one night, going back to back on the awards. So I appreciate everybody that voted for me. You didn't have to, and I'm totally shocked that anybody voted for me. But anyway, I want to get that out of the way. And congratulations to Cliff on Comics in the chat, because he loaded up. He was like Jack Nicholson, or like it was like what's the movie that won all the Oscars one year?
I mean, there's
like Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
Forrest Gump for Philadelphia. Just
Schindler's
List. All these racked up all the awards. Thanks, Bryant. I'm good to see you here. And we got Cliff here. Thanks, Cliff, for stopping by. I'm glad I have somebody with a blue wrench. I need to give DJ Links one. And congratulations and shout out to DJ Links and Rob Batstacks and Legion of Comics and Austin.
Rob.
All the other people work hard. They raised $67,000 for comic screen cancer.
Yes, for that. Yes. Damn. Exactly. For everyone who helped, everyone who stepped in, everyone who donated and, got good deals out of the comics. See, it was all about the donation. The comics were the bonus, but it was all about the donation and helping people out.
Honestly, I didn't have a lot of money to spend this time because I had some bills to pay, but I had fun just sitting in on it and seeing what people were getting.
Yeah.
And I got excited for people because I know Mad Spidey has to deal with the expensive prices for a lot of books, American books over there in Australia.
Yeah.
So he was just and he got that Fantastic Four cover for issue 50 with Silver Surfer on. He's been wanting for a long time. So I just like seeing people be able to get stuff like I was excited for you at Heroes Con when you got to get the remark from Daniel Warren Johnson.
Man, that was so fun.
You got to meet Daniel Warren Johnson. I call him the great Daniel Warren Johnson because he's I hope he comes back next year because I have a lot more to get signed, and next year I want to get it. I'm saving up now because I want to get an original sketch done. I can get that done ahead of time. I need to call his rep. I think I don't know how that works. I think you have to call the rep, but I'm sure Mark or somebody can walk me through it.
So let me tell you my quick little story at Daniel Warren Johnson. So I heard TJ was in line, right? Flash by Night Comics. He was in line at Heroes Con, and there was like a 2.5 hour line to talk to Daniel Warren Johnson. It was super long. Yeah. On a Saturday, I'm like, look, I can't spend 2 hours in the line. My brain was like, I need to go record. I need to go get some, B-roll. I need to just record everything, vlog everything. Sunday came around, and I was in that same area, and I saw a small line, where he was. And I just looked up. I was like, oh, what's this line for? And they go, that's Daniel Warren Johnson. And I look over. I'm like, oh my God. I ran right back to the hotel, right across the street, got my books, ran right across, waited in the line for like 5 minutes to get a signature. And then I was like, wait a minute, a remark's only $150 and there's no way. And I didn't even blow my Heroes budget yet. Went right back in line, double signed for no reason, and I got a remark by DWJ. I'm like, golden. I'm happy with what just happened. It sucked because friends had to wait for 2.5 hours, but then I waited for a total of 10 minutes to get 2 signatures and a remark. Yeah. Go on Sunday. Sunday is probably the best day to go.
I recommend, I heard Lady Fantastic, and you and Lady Fantastic told me that was the time to go. We got George from the 757 Hustle Show. He says, I'm here for the Transformers orgy.
Ooh-wee.
There you go. Well, you're in the right place because we're ready to go tonight.
Wop. Yeah, we're talking.
I could share some Transformers with you too. Oh yeah, and we've got the comic capsules you can actually get from with his discount code. By the way, we'll plug that.
That's right. I want my friends to
look at all these amazingly handsome studs.
Yay.
Can I get a shout out to Eman? Or I think I know. You know what he wants to hear. You know what he wants to hear.
Oh yeah. Hold on. just for you, Voxy. Oh my.
There you go.
Just for you, Voxy.
I'm working on my Transformers. I have a modest Transformers collection, but since he said Transformers, did somebody say Transformers Orgy? We got issue 6, and it's in bad shape. This is my childhood copy of issue 8.
You've had that since you were a kid?
Yeah, I've had that one since I was a kid,
That
and I've
is
had this one since I
awesome.
was a kid,
Oh,
1985 or something.
That's awesome, dude.
You
You know
see
where
how
you
it's
should
kind of
go?
dirty? It was stored in a garage.
You
And
know
then
where
we
you
have
should go next? You should go and take these over to TF Con, and if there's any voice actors there, like get those signed by like the voice actors who voiced them in the cartoon. That would be sick.
and this one's a newer one, but that's still cool.
Oh yeah, the crossover right there. I just want to know, like, when it happens, which crossover GI Joe Transformer book is the one that everyone's gonna chase?
I don't know,
That's
but
gonna be like the
I'm so
question.
excited about. I know you heard the news by now, right?
God,
Hey, we got the Wolf of Wall books here. He's in my shout out to Wolf of Wall books. I'm in the Black Order Comic Club with them guys. Him and Paul and 619, Dan's Comic Corner, Geek Out with Roscoe, Real Rude, Palmetto Punisher. I don't have everybody's name yet, Cali Comics, but I'm working on it. You know, I'm just new to the club, so.
Oh, you joined the clubs then, huh? I like that. You join the clubs, and I see them posting all over. That's pretty cool. I like that.
I don't know, but Spider-Man. I don't know if I don't have any Spider-Man. I got a bunch of Spider-Man, and you got W Box. He says I want to talk again soon. We got here's Callie, another one of the Black Order. I really like the name. We got like Thanos pictures and stuff for our look. I got to get I want these guys though. I want to tell you guys we need to work on a hat. We need to work on a hat. We need to have hats. So if we're ever at a con together, we'll have the matching hat on, and we can recognize each other. That would be a good idea.
Don't you guys have like vests or patches yet? You know, I know
I don't have one yet, but maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days. I would prefer like a hoodie, but I'm good with a hoodie. But
there you go. That'd be dope. I like that.
Oh yeah. I can't remember what issue it was. It when Spidey was in one of the Transformer comics, right?
He was on one of the older ones, right?
Eman, he might be able to find it.
I'll find it right now.
Okay, well, I need to get. I'm kind of a bigger guy though, so I don't know that there's a vest that would. You might have to like sew two vests together. I don't know.
What episode? I know. So like I know in the cartoon he showed up on a T-shirt. There's a 2005 IDW continuity book.
He's on a cover from the 80s run. I can't remember which one it is though.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. No, I can't find it. But yeah, he was on a cover with. I don't know if it was a crossover or if it was like a, like a quick little mini issue. I don't think it was a part of the main run.
Oh, he says George said it was issue 3, I think.
Oh,
it might have been like the issue 3 of when they started, because I know this was like 1 of 4. It was like but it was so popular they were like, well, let's just keep doing it.
Yeah. And I got that one.
I don't think they really expected that to be that popular. Like G.I. Joe and Transformer were almost more popular at the time that they were out than Amazing Spider-Man and maybe the only close they were a close second to maybe Uncanny X-Men at the time.
Now see, here's the thing with me. Like I didn't collect any of the older Transformers comic books. At the time it was, in the 80s it was cartoons or comics. I couldn't my brain couldn't handle both, right? So it was always watching cartoons. I didn't even really start collecting comics until like the early 90s. And then by then it was like there's just so much Transformer lore in the comics. I felt my brain would have been like, which is way too much to just go back and pick up, So but Energon universe came around. I'm like, all right, this is a great way to start something new with something familiar, and I'm all about Energon universe. I really am.
Wolf of Wall Books said he confirmed it. Transformers, just as George said, Transformers issue 3, January 1985, Spider-Man on the cover. All right,
there we go. That's what we need to go get now. Go ahead and go hunt for those right there, you guys. Make sure
go get that. We'll stay and watch the show. We need some people to watch the show.
Yeah. Later.
We got KJB here. Good day.
Is KJB from is he from Australia? G'day. Or
I don't know,
am I just
but
being dumb? I think I'm being
welcome
dumb.
in. I love my friends from Australia. You know what? That's one of the beauty. We'll talk about that too. I always like to ask people that. That's kind of the beauty of this community, or like, I don't know if we're a community. We have like a lot of little tribes, but it's community.
It's still community
Community
based.
of tribes, yeah, because we don't
Yeah.
all know each other, but a lot of us know each other. But like, I never thought, like, if you told me this like 2 years ago, hey Matt, you'll be talking to people from Australia and Great Britain every week. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know, right?
it really
Like,
kind of brings the world together a little bit, like especially all us geeks, because we all love something. Like, I would have never met you
yeah.
or Fable. Shout out to One Collection Down. I love that guy. It's my
Oh,
boy.
Fable's awesome. I love
I
Fable.
wouldn't have met W Vogs 18 or any of the guys in the Black Order Comic Club, because we're all scattered out all over the place. Canada, San Diego. Yep. See here, we got the 619 in the house. 619.
619.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. I know it's a 619, right? Because of Rey Mysterio. That's the only reason I know that. So.
There you. That's right. See, then you make the association with the wrestling. See, and then Wolf. See, I'm in the Bay. See, Cali folks here.
And Will says that when I first met Eman, I went up to him and whispered, "Oh my!" He can confirm.
Right in my ear too. He was like, "Oh my, what the fuck? Oh, it's Bogsy."
Okay, he is. Yeah, I thought he was because I saw him on Aussieverse the other night when I was on their Halloween. As much love from the Daintree Rainforest in far north Queensland, Australia, and the Aussieverse. That's right.
Ooh, we love Aussie.
And we all know the Aussieverse is for life.
For life. You gotta say it like
right.
that.
That's right.
For life.
That's the first thing they taught me when I was a guest one time. The first time I was a guest, he goes, "What is the Aussieverse?" I'm like, is this a test? I did not.
Yeah. That's what I did too. Like, Aussieverse is a fantastic channel. You guys should go ahead and subscribe to. He's like, thank you, but that's not the correct answer. I was like, well, what's the correct answer? Shit. I should have been watching more of his shows. I'm so sorry, Bo.
Please tell me. But I had fun on their Halloween stream. But I was on Australia time for like a week after I did that. Here's Bruce, King of Nerds in the house.
What's up, Bruce? Glitter's in the house too. Glitter's from the Bay Area too, man. Glitter's
Glitter.
like
a lot of people from the Bay Area though, like in the surrounding area. Like I think you've met my friend Big Jeff, right?
Oh yeah, because he lives out in Modesto, which is like
he lives out in Modesto, and then we got you and Rob live in the Bay Area.
Yep. We're right in the thick of it. I think Glitter's
Glitter
directly in the Bay too. Yep. And Cali, I think Cali's close, either Cali or Rude. They're I think in Sacramento, which is probably about an hour and a half away from the Bay. So yeah, there's a lot of California folks in
we have Whack Comics here, another Australia that's
Whack.
I'm in Southeast Queensland, 2 Queenslanders in the same chat. And
I absolutely love that he's starting to post videos again, man. I miss his videos. His videos are so outlandish. It's crazy.
And I had the pleasure of being on the stream with him the other night. And also, we got a guy from Kentucky talking to a guy from Northern California, and we have 2 guys from Queensland in the chat.
I mean, technology, man.
Everything's like globally now, right? I've even met somebody from South Africa once, I think, on here.
I want to say, yes to that. And I want to say it was on one of your Thursday night streams too. We're like, oh shit. Like I was kind of like, man, tell me more. Like what's going on in South Africa? That's pretty, and see, that's what technology, man. Technology, it allows us to do this stuff, allows us to see everyone clearly, have fancy cameras and phones to be able to do this. I mean, it's all at the palm of our hands, where we can just go ahead and hang out with friends. He wants to
know how Jason Momoa is.
Oh, he's doing fine, getting ready for Lobo. We've been working out a little bit. He's been giving me some pointers and whatnot. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he's okay. Brado's okay.
Absolutely. So, how did you? When was your first love of like? I won't just, I know everybody's expecting me to do the thing because I got Eman's World of Geek on here that I'm just going to talk about Transformers all the time. But no, I want to know in general, like, when did you get the bug to like collect things? Like, was it just like the nostalgia to get back into the collecting, or what kind of the bug about anything? Comic collecting, toys, whatever kind of collection stuff you'd like to get
So
into?
of course it started off with the toys in the 80s, right? When parents got me all the the Transformers that they could. They couldn't get me everything, but they got me what I could. Played with them till the wheels fall off and move on, right? And then of course as I got older, high school, blah blah blah. Like around seventh or eighth grade, I got back into comics. My cousin was telling me about Image, how like all the best artists from Marvel went over to Image and created all these new properties. So I actually hopped onto Image when it first dropped, not for like the investment purposes, but for like, hey, dude, these are like brand new stories that they're going to start from number one. Like I can start from the beginning and not worry about it, right? And that's how I've always thought about with comics. There's so much lore. I don't feel like I can hop into like a Spider-Man 645, right? Or just throwing out numbers because there's so much lore. I would feel like I've missed out. Starting from a number one is it makes me feel I like starting from number one, not for the whole, oh, we could possibly be made into a Netflix show and it's going to be worth $475 and unavailable to me in the future. No, it's I get to start from the beginning of a story, and then I can follow the story from the beginning. If it gets good, great. Then I get, I win because I followed this story from the get-go. And I don't get that same feeling by hopping on a Batman or Superman, Wonder Woman, X-Men, and I know about them and I love them and whatnot, but I just can't hop in the middle of like a, 4-issue run in the middle of, 748, right?
I have a problem with that. Even though I know a lot of the lore of a lot of these characters going way back, I still find it hard. Like, okay, say like people were saying, hey, you should read Absolute Batman. And look, I have no problem with it. Actually, the annual I just read, because Daniel Warren Johnson is he killed it. But like, also then I started getting into it because King of Nerds, I do his show on Sundays and we review comics, and sometimes I have to read online some Absolute titles, and like I quit collecting because I was like, I didn't really feel it. And somebody said, well, Absolute Batman didn't really get good until like real good until 6, and I'm like, well, now it's too late. Now they're on like issue 14. I'm like,
yeah,
I'd have to go back and buy all of them. So I don't know.
See, when someone does that, and I'm kind of on the same page as you, right? I was like, I kind of skipped out on all the Absolute stuff because I'm like, I'm already collecting enough as it is as far as comics go. I already have a backlog that I have to go back and keep up with, and it got too difficult for me. So I started dropping comics where I'm like, all right, let me just drop these and let me keep the ones that I'm really interested in. And that's what I've done. That's why I haven't released any more haul videos, because it's the same stuff that I'm going to get every time. Energon Universe, Tynan, Lemire, and Ghost Machine, right? That's really the only things and then once in a while I'll pick up something brand new here and there, But for the most part, that's all I'm really collecting are those comics. Starting from Batman number 14, it's a lot easier to get the trades than going back and starting from Spider-Man number 1.
Or read it on your phone or your iPad.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to catch up still because we're only a year behind. I just picked up the Absolute Batman trade for my stepson and I, so him and I can read that together. But even I was reading the first 2 issues. I'm like, I can't, and I know it gets better. But at the very, very beginning, it was just like, what's going on? Why is this drag? It felt like it dragged at the beginning, and I just couldn't read it. But since I have the trade, I can now read at my leisure, read when I can. Yeah. And once it gets good, then I know my brain's gonna be like, cool, pick up, the second trade. And I'm going to stick with the trades because collecting wise, there's no need for me to go get those just yet because I wasn't that big of a fan when it first started. If I become a fan later on, then maybe I will go hunt for those. But as of right now, is the read good? Is it worth my money? Is it worth my time? And if it is good eventually, okay, cool. Then I'll start picking up the issues. That's what I did with Saga. So with Saga, I have all of the trades from 1 to like 12, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then I started collecting the single issues after that. Now, because I enjoy Saga, and it's going to be a pretty penny, I actually want to go back and start collecting those single issues because I do enjoy that story. And, whether I jumped on late or not, now I'm a fan. Maybe I wasn't a fan at the beginning, but now I'm a fan. Now it's worth it. But like with Spider-Man, X-Men, I can't go back. I can't get a GSX number 1. I got children. They deserve socks and peas and carrots. I'm supposed to feed them according to the law, so I can't go get my GSX number 1, But but that's how I see it right now. I know where I'm at as a collector. I'm not a big fan. I'm not even as big of a fan of collecting as a lot of you guys are, but I do know what I like, and I'm sticking to with what I like. And I don't want to fake the funk and get a GSX #1 when I'm not even a huge fan. When I know someone else is trying to hunt that one, I don't want to take that joy away from them.
Yeah,
and I'm also not an investor. I'm not going to go in and I'm going to go ahead and invest in a something's killing the children #1. It's going to be worth money later on, and at its
it's
peak,
already worth too much. It's already cost too much for me to go back and get that. So I already trade paperbacks. But the thing I've noticed, and I don't know what you feel like. I know you don't read a lot of Marvel DC stuff, but even I do, and I feel like that Image Comics and Skybound, Ghost Machine, and even Dark Horse and some of the other companies, I don't know, they seem to be making more interesting stuff like James Tynion. I've been enjoying this Exquisite Corpses thing. It kind of mashes up a couple of my favorite things like action and then horror films.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got this interesting like conspiracy theory thing going on in it. And that's why I kind of like Department of Truth. I just think those stories are more interesting.
Yeah, and I absolutely love Department of Truth just because how different it is, right? With all the conspiracy theories.
It's wild, dude.
And wild is the perfect word for something like that. And that too, I think we're only on issue 26 or 27. We're not that far off. We're only like 2 years into 2 years of comic books, right? 26 issues. People can still go back and get those. See, I like to refer to like Image and Boom and Vault as like mid-dependents. Like they're not totally independent because they're a little bit more well-known, but they're not like big two like Marvel and DC. So I like sticking in the mid-dependent area, Image, Boom, Vault, because like you said, they make interesting stories to me. And a lot of those stories begin and then they end, right? Like with Boom, they had Grimm. Grimm's about a Grim Reaper, and it's Stephanie Phillips's project that she worked on for a few years, and it just ended. Cool. Look, it starts and it ends, and I kind of like that. It allows that artist and that writer to go in and say, hey, I'm done with this. This is the project that I've been wanting to work on. Let me do something else, and allow their brain to just create a different world. I'm okay with that. I'm very much okay with being in a world where it starts and it ends in 2 to 3 years. Cool. Give me something else. It's just like watching a movie or a TV series. I don't want it to drag. I don't want it to be like, man, there's been like 78 issues of crappy Spider-Mans. I don't even know why I'm collecting it, because all they're doing is trying to fill in that void. And I like it when the independent artists are able to just go in and create something brand new that they're allowed to create without any rules, because they get to create their own rules. And boom, I just feel like that freestyle, that free flowing mind, these artists are just like, cool, let's go ahead and create something fun without any rules and without any of the lore that Marvel or DC have. And that's probably one of the reasons why I stay away from Marvel and DC, because there is so much lore.
We got TM Nerdy just said hi to you.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, Travis?
Hey, buddy. Congratulations to him and Biggie Shack for their winning their award for best comic speculation show. And
they were campaigning for that one too. They're like,
well, it was well deserved. It was well deserved either way, in my opinion. I voted for him. So, also we had a question way back here from young W Boggs 18, and I guess we'll get to it. Here we go. He goes, what is your top 5 favorite Transformers?
Okay, so I have Optimus. There's white Optimus. There's black Optimus. There's purple Optimus. I don't know if I mentioned Optimus. Did I say Optimus yet? No. I'm gonna go and say Optimus Prime, 1 through 5.
I would say if I was picking, obviously Optimus Prime would be number 1. Megatron, Shockwave, Starscream, and Hot Rod will be my top 5.
So, like, legit, like, if I can just not think about it too much, legitimately, of course, it's going to be Optimus number 1. Soundwave. I would also go with Devastator. I love Devastator. Unicron, and probably Ultra Magnus. Top 5 right now. That list will probably change. No, there's a reason why I even say Bruticus because hold on, where is it? I'm building this massive.
Barbarian Cook Fu wanted to know, do you have the Pepsi Optimus?
I don't. That would be so sick to have that Pepsi Optimus. I know it was re-released a couple of times. Look, I'm going to build Bruticus. I have a masterpiece. I have all 5 of these Combaticons from this company right here, Magic Square. And this thing, focus. There you go. And this thing is one of the parts of Bruticus, and I'm about to build Bruticus. And I'm still wondering how I'm going to do it because there's like 2 of these figures I haven't even unboxed on the camera yet. Actually, I haven't even unboxed, period. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to do the unboxing for the Combaticons, but I also have to do an unboxing. Check this out. I have to do an unboxing for this stylized looking Devastator too. This Devastator is going to be an insane looking Devastator.
Oh, that's sick.
It's so stylized. Look, like this is what his leg is going to look like, and this one comes with the head and the chest piece. This Devastator is going to be insane when it's done. And there's like 2 more pieces missing, so when those things are out, it's a wrap, done deal.
We have another question. We have a question from TM Nerdy. Why do you continue to think that Ares should end up in Cloud?
God damn it, Travis. We're not going to have this conversation on Matt's show. You hear me? That's because that's the game that I played, okay? In 1997 when Final Fantasy VII first came out on the PlayStation 1. That was the story that was brought to me. That's why. But yes, but in reality, it's Tifa that should end up with Cloud, and Ares should end up with Zack. Like, it's possible now. Wait, no, I don't think it can. Anyway, I still have to finish Final Fantasy VII Part 2, the remake, on PC. I'm still kind of going through that one right there.
And he also said he's showing some Beast Wars love over on the gram this month. All right. And
I love it.
Barbarian Kung Fu is asking, but if that Devastator falls over, does it explode into 5 pieces like the original?
I hope not. I hope it does not explode into any pieces, but I'm pretty sure it's going to fall over and break into like 17 and a half pieces. It's going to be insane.
Oh, don't feel bad. I have a Lego Saturn V rocket, and I've lost the top capsule part of it. It fell off, and I don't know where the other pieces are at. So it's like,
no,
it kind of looks like a gigantic personal massage item now, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, Couple Comics is here. Hey, Cuppy.
I smell what you're cooking. What's up, Cuppy? So about Heroes Con and about Cuppy. I don't know if you heard this story, Matt. So we were at the hotel, right? And at the Westin. And it was, I think, the second day, Saturday morning, and everyone was going in and out for the breakfast brunch, right? Yeah. No, this is Sunday. And there was this dude walking towards me as I was leaving the buffet line. I was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on, man?" I walk right up to him, give him dabs. He's like, "Hey, man, you take it easy." He's like, yeah, you too. Totally thought it was Cuppy. The whole time I thought that was Cuppy. The whole time I thought it was Cuppy, right? And then as I got into the elevator, I was like, that interaction was a little odd. That wasn't Cuppy, was it? I think I just hugged a person who I thought was Cuppy, and that man is going to go throughout the whole year wondering, what the hell was that?
You know what though? You might have made his day. He might have needed a hug that day. Maybe
he did. I don't know who this stranger is. She gave me a hug, and now I feel so much better. Cuppy looks better though. Will, you look much better.
Barbarian Company said he had the G1 and the bootleg Devastator, but both were very precarious to display. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the old school ones definitely, especially the bootleg ones that you get from the flea market. Watch out for those. Like those.
I know more about like the G.I. Joe toys, but I did have Transformers. G.I. Joe was my main jam back in the day. But I will tell you, some of the toys were kind of like that too. Like the I don't know if any Joe fans out there, does anybody remember the big giant space station they had? They had the shuttle would launch off of it, Yeah. And that thing was so heavy, eventually it would collapse on its own weight. Like if you find one in the wild, like at a flea market or somewhere, or at a retro toy store, they're bowed in. Like you'll see the platform is bowed in, and the wheels are always screwed up on it.
So on my San Jose Super Toy Show videos that I put up recently, I had one. I actually recorded one. I saw one in the wild, and yeah, it had the warping underneath where it was like way, way further below. It was crazy. We sure did, Boxy. We sure did. Yeah, the yellow one from the 90s. Yup. Oh, man, dude. So one of the Transformers that I do want to get is a yellow Devastator from a company called Toy World. Very, very intricate. And it looks like it's not stylized like the one that I have. It looks more like an updated version of the Constructicon. And it stands at about 18 inches tall put together. It's a massive thing, but that thing runs for like $800. But that Toy World Yellow Devastator, that one day when I have a place to display them, because I have no place to display them, not yet.
I have that problem right now. I'm like, I want to get some more of those like McFarlane statues and some more. I got some Joes here. I'll show you.
Oh, those, yeah.
I don't have anywhere to. Like, I got somewhere to put them, but I'm like, I need the little platforms, like the little stands. But we got.
Flint. Heck yeah. You
and
got
I
like the old ones, the
Yeah.
OG ones, man.
Chuckles.
Oh, Chuckles. No, but that wasn't his name, was it?
Yeah,
It was. I
we got
remember.
Zartan's sister, and she's got her weapon still.
What's her name? Zartana, isn't it?
Zarana, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got this one at Heroes Con. Major Blood.
Dude, that issue in G.I. Joe with Major Blood and Baroness and that's not Lady J, it was the other chick. That was such a good issue.
My dad was in the Marine Corps, so I had to get the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still have the he's got Boggs gave me a G.I. Joe classified one. Also, I got the Battle Armor Cobra Commander.
Oh man, the Battle Armor one in the 80s, I remember when it came out, my friends in the neighborhood were flipping out. And there was, I don't want to say controversy, but there was definite discussions like, that's not Cobra Commander. Yes, it is. No, it's not. You can see his eyes. Well, who cares? You can see his eyes in the hooded one, but that's not the real Cobra Commander because that one's stupid. There was hardcore discussions. Destro. Every time, and see, you know what? Every time I read the G.I. Joe, the Energon Universe version of G.I. Joe, I hear the 80s version of Destro's voice. Shipwreck,
and then let's see if anybody remembers this one. This is Frostbite.
Yeah, he was cool. I liked him.
Yeah, he came with that like snowcat thing.
Yeah,
and I really appreciated that. I'm gonna get you have to get these little 3 1/4 inch stands for them,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put them in my display cabinet. But I know I made this into me. I'm sorry.
No.
I share my G.I. Joe since you shared some.
No, it's okay because you know what? These stands right here, you can get these. Yeah, you can pick these like a block of 3 for like $5 on Amazon. And I use these for some of my displays.
Yeah, the Dreadnought War starting out, and like you were talking about the one with the last issue of the G.I. Joe, the Joshua Williamson G.I. Joe, because of course Larry Hama is still writing the original. But this is the one with Joshua Williamson. That's the one you're talking about, like Major Blood trying to kill Baroness, and he wounded CoverGirl.
CoverGirl, that was her name. Yeah.
And of course, I got all the Energon stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting all the Darren Warren Johnson. Everybody's like, "Oh, Dan Moore and David Nakayama." I'm like, "Look, I love those guys, but as long as Daniel Warren Johnson keeps doing the cover B, that's the one I'm going to get. That's just the way I am."
Just stick with it. Daniel Warren Johnson did something phenomenal with that run. He really did. And I say this, I've said this over and over again in the past, but he gave us something brand new. It's something familiar. And it was definitely for the fans that grew up with it, right? This comic grew up with the people who grew up with it, right? It was there for the people who were like, man, I need something that's not childish. I need something that's not Transformers 1 or any of the cartoons that were aimed at children. I need a Transformer for me. And that's what the Energon universe is all about. It's a Transformer for us 40-year-olds that grew up on it.
Yeah, that's what it is, because that's why they're making the animated thing is going to be more adult oriented. And like if Robert Kirkman's doing it, I feel pretty confident it's going to be okay, because I mean, look what he did with the Invincible animated show. I mean, I would argue, and I might make some Invincible fans upset, but I would argue that the animated series is better than the comic book.
It took out a lot of the stuff for sure from the comic, to make it a cohesive story.
That's a hot take. Yeah.
Good enough for TV, right? But if you want to get like the full story behind some of those episodes, you got to read the comic. But with Invincible, there's already over 100+ issues out
Yeah, it's
in
hard
order
for me
for
to
him
catch
to
up
have,
now.
in order for him to have a TV show. I'm concerned about the Energon Universe cartoon, because by the time it comes out, there's only going to be 3 years worth, 4 years worth of
Yeah,
Energon lore. What happens when, the
yeah,
TV show and the comics meet? Like, what's going to go on after that? Are they going to split and go into two different directions? Or is Robert Kirkman going to say, hey, let's go ahead and start it off like this, like in the comics, and then veer off into another direction?
yeah,
And that way we can enjoy both the comics and the TV show with different lore, and still say, hey, look, keep the comics to comics. What happens in the TV show happens in the TV show. Very similar to what happened in the 80s, comic and the cartoon.
yeah,
I hope it goes in that direction where they can split it enough so that, okay, they're different enough at this point for everyone to enjoy separately. And I'm hoping for that. I don't want the cartoon to be a 1-for-1 as a comic, because at that point it's like, why am I even collect the comics? I want something different enough for me to stay interested enough in the cartoon to keep watching.
yeah. Well, they may run into a situation like they did with Game of Thrones and George R.R. Martin. The show outran what he had
The book.
written.
Yep. And then
I
look
hope,
what
but
the
hopefully, with this happens with the Energon Universe animated stuff, hopefully it doesn't end the way that did.
yeah. That is a concern for me. That's a genuine, because I was honestly, I was scarred by that Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones was so good up until the last 2 seasons. And it's like, what the hell happened? Well, they ran out of material and they couldn't think of anything else. I'm like, that's a weak reason,
The last episode I really enjoyed was the one where the dragons were up around the north, the north, and like the White Walkers killed one of them and turned it into a White Walker. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is cool. But
Yeah,
then it's
that
like
was
the
dope.
next thing was like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Callie, I want to bring this up. He said this a while ago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That squish panel
The squish
definitely
panel
set it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw that,
And of course,
panel, I was like, my
yeah.
jaw dropped. I'm like, this is setting the stage for what's going to happen, and I'm all about it.
Well, I say, you know what they ought to do if he only writes 25 issues? Bring back D-Dubs if he'll come back. And that's all I can say.
I mean, you know what? At that point, right? Let's just say this. Let's just say Kirkman only writes 25 issues. I bet you there's enough fans who are in the industry that are like, oh, no, we're going to take care of this property from the get-go. Like, if this is the direction Robert Kirkman wants to go, let's go ahead and follow that right there. Let's go ahead and put in our input and go and move on. What I love about issue 25 is that they introduced Bulkhead in that issue. Bulkhead was not in G1. Bulkhead was in animated and in Transformers Prime. And in issue number 19, this is going to be super stupid and dorky, but in issue 19, I actually had a letter written, and it was published in issue 19, where I asked Daniel Warren Johnson, hey, man, are you guys going to be bringing in any other Transformers from other universes like Energon, Cybertron, or Energon, or Prime, or animated? He's like, in my run, we're not, but we don't know what's going to happen. So when I saw him at Heroes Con and I brought that up, he's like, oh, you wrote that letter? He's like, not in my issue, but who's to say in the future? And he gave me like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink kind of a look. And I'm like, I feel like that was a clue, but my ADHD didn't catch on that, right? And then I saw issue 25. I was like, oh, they introduced Bulkhead, which tells me that yes, they are going to be dipping into the other universes that have been that have Transformers in it, animated. They're gonna do Armada. It's so sick, and I'm just waiting for like other versions of other Transformers from other universes to come into Energon universe, like a freaking idiot like I am.
Well, the thing also I think they've handled great with all three comics, G.I. Joe, Boyd Rivals, and Transformers, is they've got people, they found people that have a reverence for the source material. Like now, I will argue the G.I. Joe one kind of diverts a lot from the lore of the Marvel run with Larry Hama a little bit. They have like right now, although I think she's going to look. I don't know what you think, Eman. I'll ask you, but I think Baroness is going to end up stabbing him in the back.
Oh yeah, totally.
But they start out with her on the Joe team. But the one thing I really like about this is how Clutch. See, I don't blow it because I haven't read this issue yet that I showed you. But Clutch knows that he's buddies with Transformer now. And they kept it a secret until the last issue I read was where they're like, "Oh, what are you doing with him?" Basically, they're like, "What the hell?" So like he's going to have some explaining to do, I'm sure. And but now it's starting to come together to where like worlds are starting to collide. We have the Cobra Law people are getting ready to collide with the Void Rivals people. We have some Transformers already in that, which that's really getting good. I don't know how you feel about Void Rivals, but it's really picked up the last 3 issues. What do you think of that?
I absolutely loved Void Rivals from the get-go. And look, how can you not like Void Rivals? Even to a point where my friends went to San Diego Comic-Con and got me the Void Rivals Jetfire.
That's so
Come on.
awesome. I'm going to get one. It's on my Santa Claus list. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really collect a lot of Transformers, but I that's one of those things like it has another meaning to me. I love Transformers, even though I don't collect a lot, I still have a G1 Optimus without the trailer somewhere. I don't know. It's at my dad's house. Yeah. But as far as that though, it's also got me just like thinking like, oh man, it'd be so cool because I was when Void Rivals came out. I don't know what you thought of it, but I said, man, they need to make action figures for these.
Yep, they sure did. And then this year at Comic-Con, they went ahead and released it. I had to pick it up.
And now, if anybody at Skybound is listening to me an email tonight, or we might have to send somebody an email. We need some Energon Universe G.I. Joe action figures, please. Please.
Here, if this is any indication, though, of them releasing anything, the fact that they brought out the Void Rivals in the same 3.5 inch as the G.I. Joes, this tells me that the G.I. Joes figures that hopefully they do release is going to be the old school 80s version.
I hope so.
Oh my God. I mean, just imagine that, right? Just getting
imagine an exclusive with a Clutch with a Jeep.
Right? With oh crap.
I can't remember his name all of a sudden, dude.
I just drew a blank also. The Jeep. Hound.
Okay, yeah.
Hound. Yeah,
I would
be
love
like
to see a box set with those two in it. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome. Seeing Clutch with Hound as a box set at a Comic-Con exclusive, I'm okay with that. I'm very much okay with that.
I also want the Cold Slither thing they brought out for the. If anybody doesn't know what Cold Slither is, they had the Dreadnoks formed a band to brainwash people to join Cobra back in the 80s. They had a song. They even had a band. They were they formed a band and they were at New York Comic Con. That's what I was told by. I think Izzy told me that, and Cuppy. It might be.
Did you see that issue that was released? I think a couple of weeks ago, and it was them. It was Cold Slither. It was an issue. And
I got it. I even have the blank.
Yeah. I got the cover B.
Draw Ozzy Osbourne on the blank. Oh, we got
John's
John here. John.
John's awesome, man. Great channel.
John. He's a good. Me and him are fellow X-Men lovers.
Yeah. He's hardcore
over that. And movies. He's got a love of movies like I do.
Hardcore X-Men guy right there for John. If you got for a person like me who doesn't know the lore, right? You just watch John, and then when John was doing videos with No Good, was it No Good? Yeah, my Filipino dude from New York, and they were just talking X-Men. I was like, oh man, this is information right here. This is a good show to watch right here. So when they were doing that right there, I was like, this is nice right here for someone like me who's like, I'm not gonna go back and get issue number 14. That's way too much money. I have children. They need socks and peas. I have to buy them carrots. I can't do that. But watching them, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is nice and refreshing. They catch me up. Yeah, see, that's my boy right there. I like. Oh, that's my boy, but I forgot his name. That's terrible. Noel comics and games and something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. No good. I don't know.
No good.
Just make up. Like that guy. We'll make it up. We'll fake it until we make it.
But going back to the toys, I would. Those GI. You're right. We need GI Joes now. Now that we have Void Rivals, and now that they've done some sets with the Transformers. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you saw this.
We need Proximus Midnight.
And then I have the Energon the Energon Optimus Prime now. Now this is what they call legend scale. This guy is about the same height as the GI Joes, right? So this is what they call legend scale, and he's about the same height, right? So these guys are little,
Yeah.
you know. But this is a third party company called New Age, and they do all these little transformers, and he's fully transformable. He'll transform into the truck, and so I picked this up very recently. Like it came in like a couple of weeks ago. I actually have a Instagram and YouTube short of me unboxing it, and yeah, I had to have that one, and I already put in my pre-order for the official Energon one that comes out next year, which is supposed to be a little bit taller. And it's based off of the Studio Series 86 Optimus, but he's going to have the Megatron arm on it. I already put my pre-order in. Not going to lie. I'm waiting for that thing to come in.
And John said he won't tell Justin.
Yeah. Justin. See, I told you I was going to remember his name.
Holy. Also, like what's his name? Proxima Midnight or something? Was that his
He's
name?
Badass.
Like, we need to figure that.
Yeah.
I need to figure that.
Yeah. I like his head sculpt too. I like his head design, his helmet design, how it just comes to a point right here. He's got that flat like triangle on top. His design is really dope.
We have some breaking news here from Cuppy. He said they are coming out with Energon Burst toys. I saw the Optimus with Megatron arm at NYCC.
Already put the pre-order in for that.
Wow, he already put the pre-order. All right, you already know. E-Man already knows. I did not know that. I'm glad to hear that. But
yeah,
we still need the GI Joes. We still need the GI Joe ones. I need Clutch and Hound ASAP.
See, and I'm old school. I'm old school in all of this too. Here's my thing about the GI Joe buck. Right, where's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow?
I know we've got Beachhead Flint.
Yeah,
Scarlet hasn't showed up yet. She had a miniseries.
She had a miniseries, and that was it.
Scarlet and Jinx, and they had Storm Shadow in that, but no Snake Eyes.
Yeah. So, like I think they're holding out on Snake Eyes like they did with Megatron, because when we finally saw Megatron, I was like, he's finally here, and I want that same feeling.
Sorry, Will, I forgot. Will was pointed out. I overlooked his question. He said, "Favorite Transformers movie?"
86, hands down. There's no other answer to it. However, Transformer 1. Very close second. Transformer 1. See, when I first saw the trailer for Transformer 1, I was like, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching this. This is too childish. And that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. But it was also how it was marketed. It felt like it was marketed again to children. I'm like, I'm cool. But then when I finally saw it, I'm like, wow, this movie was incredible. And it got dark. Towards the end, it got really dark. And I was like, but they marketed it like completely wrong, in my opinion. They should have marketed to me instead of to my kids.
Well, you know what my answer is going to be, don't you?
No, I don't. What is your answer?
You got the touch. Yeah, it was one of the most awesome and heartbreaking moments, all in the first 5 minutes of that movie as a kid, when Optimus just goes down, like he goes out with his boots on, right? You're like, oh no, he's going to come back.
So check this out. So this is a legend. This is a masterpiece size Optimus, right? This guy stands at about 9.5 inches tall. There is a third party version of the dead Optimus, the all gray right there. When they brought back Peter Cullen to voice Optimus Prime, I was hooked.
Also, I want to give a shout out to the late great Scatman Carruthers, who was the voice of Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz had a wonderful voice back in the day. I liked his.
And also, he was also the voice of Hong Kong Phooey.
Oh, that's right, and that makes so much sense too. He pretty much just brought Hong Kong Phooey over to Jazz.
Cuffy, you're not the only one that made cry. Look, and I'll give you a little trivia. I bet Eman knows this behind the scenes trivia too. After I'll tell you this, the two movies that actually there's three movies that like gutted me as a kid, and one of them's from Disney, and Disney was always good at this. Actually, it was two movies from Disney: The Fox and the Hound and Old Yeller. Those were traumatizing to me.
We just brought up Old Yeller to the kids literally on Monday night. We were talking about like old movies and traumatizing movies, and then we talked about Old Yeller, how it started, and then we told them what happened at the end. They go and they showed it. We're like, yeah. They go, Why would they
And-
do that to you kids?
And another one that always gutted me as a kid was a never-ending story
Oh yeah,
with
Yeah,
a horse.
yeah.
Okay, what was his name?
It was Atreyu and Thorax.
Arax, I think was his name.
Yeah.
And he's like
Thorax.
lost the will to live in the quicksand. We were scared of quicksand back then. And then the next one, obviously, is Optimus Prime being killed. And did you know this? I don't know if you know this. Eman, you probably do know this. Okay, you know the next one up was the G.I. Joe movie came out after the Transformers movie.
Mhm.
All right, so there were so many parents that were upset that their kids were crying in the theater because Optimus had died, and their kids were like heartbroken over this robot that they were originally going to kill Duke.
Yep.
In the G.I. Joe movie, but they re-edited it to where he just got injured and took out of commission. But they were going to kill Duke off, and they said, "Well, no, we're not doing it no more."
When you saw Serpentor throw that Cobra right at Duke, you saw where it hit him, right? It hit him right in the heart. But when you see him in the hospital later on, he had the bandage around his
or somewhere around here.
Yeah. And then we're like, wait a minute. But it's because the kids didn't want the kids to go through that trauma again of losing a hero, because Duke was the guy. It was Duke and Flint. And it's like, wait, we can't lose Duke. Wait, what's going on? And yeah, it was because they don't want that same trauma happening with what happened with Optimus Prime, because that messed up a lot of kids.
I would like to see the original scene though. I don't know that I've ever seen it.
The original scene?
The one that they cut out.
Which one was the one they cut out? Like what?
Where Duke dies. Like they cut out the part where he's dead. They were supposed to go to his funeral. Hey, Great Legend, how you doing? Great Legend show in the house. How you doing, sir? Thanks for stopping by, man. We have
I get that. Serpentor was kind of frightening. Between Serpentor, Globulus, and Nemesis Enforcer. But okay, hold on. All right.
Yeah.
Am I weird for saying this? Am I the only one who had a crush on Pythona growing up? Please let me know, chat. Let me know. Was I the only one who had a crush on Pythona? There was something about her where I'm like, okay, she's kind of sexy. Not gonna lie, she's weird and crazy. I kind of like crazy ones. And Pythona was
also like Nemesis Enforcer.
Yeah. Just that whole Cobra Law idea, I really, really loved a whole lot. And I liked them a lot because they were like in tune with the earth, and they were all like hippie-ish, but they were bad guys, like, no, we're gonna do everything natural. But
he may be in the other chat, TM. That's why if you're I don't know if that's what you're asking, but it could be in the other chat or something. Like, I know that there's two. Some people might have joined from Eman's because I'm letting him. He's streaming on his channel as well right now.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Parents, Lady J all the way though. Come on.
Yeah.
And the only thing, yeah, they're well, E-Man's streaming it to his. So I don't know. Would they show up in mine or would it be different? I don't know.
All of them would show up on this main one right here that we're looking at. Okay, you and I.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Cuppy's right here.
But here's the thing though. Like, yeah, Scarlet hot, Lady J hot. Yeah, growing up, but I had a thing for Jinx too, and I identified with Jinx. I'm like, she's Asian like me. I like Jinx, and I liked her attitude. I had a bigger crush on Jinx than I did on.
We have an attempt at humor from W Boggs 18 here. He's like, "Is there an Optimus Prime? Where is Pessimist Prime?"
Hold on. I got Pessimist Prime right here. Hold on. I got look here.
You got Pessimist Prime
right there. There's Pessimist Prime, all dark and moody and gloomy and red eyes and everything. There's Pessimist Prime.
There's Pessimist Prime.
There, and, all angry and.
But
I listen to My Chemical Romance and everything's dark and moody. Stop. Be careful. You guys stay there. There, Pessimist Prime. Showed him. I got it.
You know what? I got to agree with Biggie Shack here. He said Hot Rod should have let Prime finish the fight and stay out of it.
Yeah, I mean he's the reason why he died. It's Hot Rod, and that's why I have a thing against Hot Rod and Rodimus, because in my eyes it was their fault that my hero died. It was Hot Rod's
The only reason
fault.
I like Hot Rod is because he had flames and he was a cool toy. But yeah, I didn't like Hot Rod's decision in the movie.
Now check this out. I don't know if you want to look this up or if anyone wants to look it up, but there is a Hot Rod toy that was released, I think, last year. It was an official Hasbro one from the Lost Light IDW line, and he's more purple and silver, super sick. And I think they released a Lost Light Hot Rod, and he's got like this dope ass looking Gundam look to him. And I'm not a big Hot Rod fan at all, again, because to me, he's the reason why Optimus died. But that figure, I kind of want that figure in my collection because that Lost Light Hot Rod, badass, absolute fire.
Yeah. I also like the. I guess the other one I love the most was like what I talked about this earlier. We're talking about our top 5 is Soundwave.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about Soundwave with that laser beak and the he was my favorite bad guy. I had it a toy and I took it to school and it got stolen.
Soundwave inferior. Constructicons inferior. Who are you calling?
Hey, have you seen the version of that where the pistons move? Have you seen that one where it's like battery operated? That's so rad.
It is. It is. I think it takes like 2 AAAs and each side goes whap whap, and they're pretty big too. They're like they're about 4.5 inches tall.
That. Yeah, it's like that size. Yeah,
they're about 4.5 inches tall. They do transform into the tape, and then they do.
Of course, there's a few of them that I'm priced out of the transforming Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, and they have the Megatron that transforms into the tank.
Yeah,
on command. It says transform. You can program. That's the Holy Grail. I would assume that's a Holy Grail for Transformer collectors, though.
It is. For me, it is. Like having either one, because there's 2 versions of the Optimus Prime that they came out with. One's a smaller one, and it's cheaper. I don't care. I'll either one. So like the Holy Grails for me are that one right there, are the transforming Megatron and Optimus. The big HasLab Unicron, that thing is like $1,500-$1,600, and it's like 2.5 feet in diameter. I think even more with the ring. There's this Predaking that's so sick.
Oh, cool! And I want the Dinobot one they have. That's. We have another question here from Nerdy. He says, "What Transformer hasn't gotten the love they deserve over the years, whether it be cartoons, animated movies, or live action movie?"
I know what he wants me to say. I hear you. I know what you want me to say. Don't you want me to say Cheetor, don't you? You want me to say Cheetor, don't you, Travis? And you're right. Cheetor didn't get the love that he should have gotten in the Rise of the Beast cartoons. Like none of them did, except for Optimus Primal, right? But Cheetor, yeah, he should have gotten a lot more love for sure.
They have some at the Dollar General, like the little ones, is what Random Reads is saying.
Yeah, I've seen those. I actually have like a couple of the non-transforming ones. They're like keychains. They're about like this big. Super fun to collect. Like there's only 6 of them, I believe. Yes, Fortress Maximus.
And Nerdy also has a follow-up question. He says, "Why do people hate Bumblebee, the character, not the movie?"
Here's the thing, like people didn't mind the little Bumblebee from the 80s. Like they just thought, all right, you're a cute little guy. All right, you're kind of squabbly. But like in the movies, I have to bring that up. It's because of not hearing the voice, and then like it was a little cheesy in the movies. Like the first movie was fine, right? The first Michael Bay movie was fine, but then afterwards it just became a little bit more cheesy. They're all breakdancing while they're trying to transform. Like there was just things about that in general. And then with Bumblebee not being able to talk, it just kind of made him. It made him feel more like keep that one away. Yeah, that's right. We did not get Dinobot or Tigertron. You're right on that one right there, Travis. Rhinox. However, one of my favorite scenes in Rise of the Beast was when RC was riding Rhinox right into battle, because my daughter's name is RC. But I loved that scene. And then when my daughter saw her riding Rhinox in the movie theater, I can hear a little squeal come from my daughter. Like, oh my God, it's me. And it for me, it was like, yes, that's what I want to hear right there. So seeing RC ride Rhinox right into battle, peak fatherhood right there. For me, at least, because I'm a dork naming my child after a Transformer.
You know what? That's why we're all here, though. We wouldn't be on YouTube talking about like comic books, collectibles, toys, and pop culture if we weren't a little geeky, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And when,
or maybe
when,
a
when
lot geeky. You know what? But you know what? There's people that I'm friends with in real life, um, or in like my hometown. Like if I was to go, oh no, that the first appearance of Snake Eyes is not in that issue, but the most important Snake Eyes issue in the GI Joe run is issue 21, which is the silent issue, and then they'll be like,
that was important.
but I know, but they look at me like an alien had just crawled out of my ear and started sitting on my shoulder because they're like, I really don't give a shit. They're like, actually, Spider-Man's black costume doesn't show up until it's tied for. I can't remember what Marvel team up it is, but there's a
But you gotta
Marvel
be
team
that.
up ASM 250 or whatever. I think it's 250.
You gotta be that nerd.
Or something.
Actually, we didn't get the very first costume until later on.
Yeah, like the guy on The Simpsons, right?
Yes. Which, by the way, one Halloween, I was that guy for. I was that guy for Halloween.
Yeah, Storm Shadow's first appearance is in the silent issue. Yes, that's right. I have it somewhere around here.
Like if
I was saying Snake Eyes, so I can't remember what Snake. I bet Biggie knows that one too, though. He probably knows what Snake Eyes first appearance. You think I would? You think I would because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, but sometimes my mind escapes me. It's midnight here, so
it's tomorrow for you.
I think it might be this one actually. Let me find it. Hold on.
See, and like I know you have more of the lore than I do because you actually collected the 80s GI Joe comic book and some of the 80s Transformers comic book. I didn't do that. I was more about the cartoons because again, ADHD doesn't allow me to, focus on more than one thing at a time.
Yeah, number one. I think number one is what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was Biggie.
Now, did Larry Hama begin it with number one?
Yes. The interesting thing is, and Biggie Shack might be able to back me up on this, but originally he wanted to write a Sergeant Fury book, but then Hasbro was wanting to make a toy line, so he made instead of doing the Nick Fury book, he just started writing this, and he's the one that did all the file cards like you see on my avatar when I turn my camera off. He did all that stuff. He did all the art and the file cards. He wrote all the information on them. Yeah, it's supposed to be Nick Fury. But anyway, yeah, I got this. My friend brought this to me, Flat Earth Santa at Heroes Con.
That's dope.
I'm going to get it. I'm sending it to him. He's going to. I can't remember the name of the con. I think it's Galaxy Con here in December.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in Ohio, and he's going to do some submissions for me.
Oh, that'd be sick. Is
Larry
Hama going to be there?
I don't know. If Larry Hama's going to be there, we'll be like, dude, get this signed. But I thought about that because if he goes to Heroes Con, I'm going to regret getting it not signed. But I'll figure it out.
Like Larry Hama is actually at quite a few cons out here in the Bay.
Yeah.
So like if he comes up because there's like a few cons that are coming up, smaller cons that he actually attends here in the Bay Area. I think he's from the Bay. I think he lives in California. But he does show up to a lot of the smaller cons. And if he's coming up on one, man, I'll let you know, and I'll grab that SIG for you. You
have a question here. I think I overlooked it earlier.
Am I a fan of Star Saber? Okay, so I didn't get to watch the Japanese version of the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Transformers until like much later. Star Saber is dope, and his toy is dope too. I got to know a different version of Star Saber through, I think, either Armada or Energon in the Unicron series, which came out in 2002, 2003, 2004. And that version of Star Saber was cool. But when I saw the toy for him being released around that time, like, what's this? What's going on? Because he felt very much like the Vehicle Force Voltron that I really liked. I actually liked that one. And then when I found out that Japan had a Transformer line on their own outside of G1, I couldn't watch it back then because, of course, translation and whatnot. But his design, dope. Absolutely dope. I really enjoy how he combines into... I think in Japan he combines into like a starship and then into a sword, but like in Energon he transforms into a sword. It's his design is sick. The Japanese version of the G1 version of Star Saber, totally dope.
We got Biggie was talking about The Armada cartoon with Starscream death is almost as good as Prime's death.
I agree. You know, the whole thing that TJ started with, justice for Starscream. That's the only justice for Starscream that Starscream deserves, was what happened at the end of Armada. You know, but what sucked about the whole Unicron universe thing is that Starscream comes back in Energon and in Cybertron. So it's like his death almost didn't mean anything. But seeing that, yeah, it warmed my heart, Biggie. Seeing Starscream give up his life to help defeat Unicron in Armada, peak justice for Starscream.
Oh, I gotta ask you a question. I can't remember if it was issue 23 or 22 because it's been a while since I read it. But the one where, like, there's a point where Starscream is getting ready, like, you know, Megatron's getting ready to just mess him up, right? And he's like, I think I remember him saying he recites his original name before he became a Decepticon.
Before that,
it almost made me wonder if, like, I haven't read 25 yet, but if he's like kind of has a regret for what he's done, but I don't think he does, because he's kind of a cold-blooded bastard, you know, even for a robot.
He is. They tried to humanize him in that issue. I'm like, no, don't you start doing that to him, because he what was his original name, like Olrak or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Olrak, and I'm like, shut up. No, this is like dumb. Don't you?
I kind of liked it when he got pissed because they welded him to a his tank track. He's like, what have you done to me?
That was funny. That was absolutely hilarious. There was a lot of things that Daniel Warren Johnson did in the Transformers run that was extremely, extremely funny to me. You know, turning Astro Train into this pit bull of a madman, always chained up. It's like Daniel Warren Johnson turned Astro Train into Juggernaut from Deadpool, right? Just a savage like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Juggernaut. Yeah. And then the one of the Transformers basically had PTSD, you know. So
and that is our boy Ultra Magnus, who had the PTSD.
Ultra Magnus, yeah, there he is.
You know, Ultra Magnus had the PTSD, you know, because of what? Check this out. Because of what Shockwave did.
Yep.
You know, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think I like the Energon version of Shockwave better than the cartoon version.
Me too. I have to agree.
Just because of how much of a psycho he is. He is a sick bastard. And I think in the lore of all Transformers, like, we need someone like that, right? Someone methodical like that. Because Megatron's more of a tyrant, whereas I think Shockwave in the Energon universe is way more methodical.
And also, I really like the way, piggyback off of that, and this is because it's Energon universe, in the Cobra Commander miniseries. My God. Because, you know, like on the cartoons, I love the cartoon, but if you watch it now, even back then, if you saw it, you recognize it. Cobra Commander was a pussy.
Yeah.
And he's like, retreat, you know.
Yeah.
But like, and but this Cobra Commander is ruthless.
Yeah.
And completely volatile. Like, you can't trust him. I mean, you couldn't trust the one on the animated show either. But this one's not going to turn tail and run. Like, you remember in the first issue, he's like, all the guys are, we're scientists, we can't fight these things. He goes, you bunch of cowards, and he's just like shooting his gun and everything. And like, also, I like how they leaned into the Cobra Law lore.
Yeah.
That really hit the sweet spot for me, you know.
What I do like about the Energon universe is that there is more than one faction of bad guys, and there's more than one faction of good guys with completely different ideologies as to how they want certain things ran or rescued or whatever, right? Because with the Autobots, you have the Autobots on Earth, and then you have the Autobots and Cybertron. The Autobots and Cybertron, they're all just damaged and war-torn and PTSD. You know, whereas like the Decepticons, it's very similar to the cartoon, right? Starscream's trying to get power, and then, you know, whatever. But then with G.I. Joe, you see several different factions of bad guys. You don't have just Cobra. You have Mars, which is ran by Destro. And then you also have, even Tomax and Zaymot. They're kind of like a different faction, even away from Mars. So like they're their own entity also.
They have their own, they're the ones that have the Crimson Guard and everything.
Yep. And they're the ones that were bringing in the legitimate
thing.
money.
And they have their own like shell corporation where they sell clothes and and that's kind of what was called the whole. No, it's okay, man. I have to get a signal booster because I'm so far away from the modem. I can't run a wire to it. But I'm gonna rectify that situation in the coming month. But what I'm saying was like, so like, there's always like Destro's always trying to get one over on Cobra Commander.
Mm-hmm.
They're always trying to stab each other in the back, and then they finally Destro and Baroness team up with Dr. Mindbender in the comic, and that's how we get Serpentor, because we're tired of this guy costing us all this stuff. He's cost us millions of dollars in his stupid plans, and we're gonna use genetics to engineer the perfect leader for Cobra.
Yeah, and they kind of did that in the they did that in the cartoons too. You know, they ran with that also, that same idea, you know, genetically, you know, create a much better leader. And then that's when, you know, Cobra Commander, who was already voiced by the same voice as Starscream, turned into Starscream right there, right? You know, so you see the similarities there. But now you see more of a similarity with Cobra Commander and Shockwave. At least I do in the Energon universe. And
I see that. I can see that.
You
and
know?
there's also like one of my favorite story arcs was there was a battle on Cobra Island. I think it was in the 70s and the issues 70 range of issues. And so to give you some backstory, Zartan was the one that killed the Hard Master who trained Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And if you remember anything about the lore of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, they're blood brothers, but they're brothers. And the Ninja Brother, they have the same tattoo. So Snake Eyes always thought that Storm Shadow killed the Hard Master, and Storm Shadow thought he did, but the whole time Zartan was the one that killed him.
In the comics?
Yes.
I did not.
And then there's a scene where you realize that he's a highly trained kind of assassin, Zartan is, not just a mercenary. And, you know, he was always the brains of the operation, how the Dreadnoks, because, you know, those guys, they got nothing up here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gets out his compound bow. He's like, we're going to end this because there's like a civil war going on Cobra, and G.I. Joe's in the middle of it. So it's like a triple threat match, so to speak, in WWE or AEW. Yeah. Anyway, he says, I'm going to end this shit right now because he took Baroness hostage. He had Baroness, there's a cover where he's got Baroness tied to the front of his tank as a human shield. And so Destro's pissed. He's like, don't worry, Zartan's like, I'll get his ass. So he's like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to gauge the wind. He gauges the wind and he pulls that bow up and fires it. And then you hear Serpentor starts talking about his, you know, he's reincarnated. So he says, I have this eerie feeling. He says, I feel like the time that Richard the Lionheart got laid low and he's getting ready to say by an arrow. Because, you know, if you remember anything about history, Richard the Lionheart was killed by an arrow through the head, to the eye. And before he can get the word arrow out, the arrow hits him right in the head and he goes, and they kill him.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. They bring him back later on, like, you know, after the IDW, I think, or Image Run.
Because he is, you know, he's a genetic clone. They can bring him back.
Yeah, you can bring him back anytime. So it's okay to kill him. But I'm sorry to keep going about G.I. Joe, but like the other thing that was so great about the comic book over the cartoon was in the cartoon, they were like the stormtroopers. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with one of those guns. Nobody ever got killed. If a plane blew up, they ejected out. There were no stakes, right?
It's for kids, right? They can't have the same trauma.
They couldn't do that. Obviously, they couldn't do that. Somebody forgot to tell them when they did the Transformers movie about that. But in the comic, nobody was safe. Baroness shot Storm Shadow at one point. Killed him dead. So, yeah, it was like, I can't believe they killed him. And like people would die all the time. They killed off some of the original Joes, like Breaker and some of those guys. I think they got killed or they retired them.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah, but, you know, it was always a fun thing. All right, Cuppy. We're getting ready to end anyway. It's like 12:30, and I'm probably keeping everybody up in the house right now. But Eman, I truly appreciate you being here. And I'm gonna tell everybody what I got going on tomorrow, and then you tell everybody what videos you got coming up and some of the news. Oh, well, actually, you know, I didn't even get to ask you about the toy photography, but we'll talk about that next time, I guess.
Definitely. You know, I'd love to come back. And
tomorrow we got a real treat for you on Good Cinema. We did so many horror films for Halloween month here on my channel for Good and Bad Cinema that we needed a little bit of a palate cleanser. You know what I mean? You can't just watch brutality and babysitters getting stalked by psychopaths in masks forever, even though I love that stuff. I love those kind of movies. But we have a palate cleanser tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be reviewing the 1989 comedy classic Harlem Nights, starring Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and the great Red Fox. So that's all I'm gonna plug. What's coming on tomorrow, and so I hope everybody watches that. If you can't watch it live, watch the replay. I greatly appreciate it. The Good and Bad Cinema have been like a big success, so much that we got another show called Friday Night Frights that me and Comic Verse are doing. Grandpa Starscream, we call him, or that's what his I think his granddaughter called it.
Yeah,
and we're gonna switch out. Like this week, this Friday, it will be Nightmare on Elm Street on my channel, and then on his channel next week, it's going to be The Evil Dead. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, guys. I appreciate you guys sitting here watching on my channel and on Eman's channel because we're dual streaming. Eman, why don't you tell the people what you got coming up, sir?
Yeah, no worries, man. So coming up on the channel, I'm recording videos for my C3 unboxings. So I have C3 boxes that I need to unbox, and I'm going to do them differently now. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm doing my unboxings slightly different. I'm focusing more on shorts with those, and then I'm going to shoot a mail call video that's going to include figures and comic books, and then I also have an unboxing of the Combaticons that I showed you guys earlier. I'm going to do an unboxing of all 5 of them, and then I'm going to put Bruticus together. So I'm working on that, and then I also have an unboxing of the stylized Constructicons. I had a buddy in the Transformer community who actually loaned me 2 of his, so I'm going to unbox 4 of them here on my channel, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I definitely want to do it in such a way that it's slightly different. I do want to add a little bit more cinematics, a little more dramatics to it, make it look a little nicer. So, something work on a different way of unboxing these toys right here. And then once I get all 5 pieces of the Constructicons, I'm actually going to do a full-on combining video of all 5 of the Constructicons put together to form the stylized Devastator. And then, of course, I'm working on, my brain's working on doing some comic book reviews too, because, I started off comic books. I want to make sure that I keep the comic books there. So I'm going to be doing some comic book arc reviews, issues, 6 through 13 of the Transformers, or issues 1 through 5 of Grimm, things like that. I have a backlog. I have a lot of books I need to go in and read. So keep an eye on the channel. There's a lot of comic books and a lot of Transformers coming up there on Eman's World of Geek.
Oh, we have he comes a little late, but it's okay. MJ Comics. Let's say hello to him. Good morning. I think it's morning where he's at.
Good morning.
It's actually just the next day here in on the eastern part of the states in the United States. I just want to give a shout out to him real quick for a hell of an interview during Comics Curing Cancer with Mark Spears. I thought it was really good.
Let me say something about that real fast. About that interview right there with Mark Spears was absolutely wonderful. Now, I have said live on streams that I felt like Mark Spears' work was, overhyped. Like, oh man, everyone's chasing Mark Spears. Oh, Jesus, he's overhyped to me. Artwork is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. That man's talented. But I was like, because everyone was chasing his books, I'm like, overrated. I'm not going to be one of those guys. But after watching James's interview with him, and how everyone was praising Mark Spears, and after him telling everyone, man, I've been working at this for 25 years. I had to make a decision. Do I draw more or do I work? And he quit working so he can draw more, and just busted his ass off to get to the point where he's at, where he's like one of the most, revered comic book artists, cover artists right now. And he's the hottest comic book cover artist right now. Seeing this man cry on somebody else's stream, I felt for that man. I was like, wow, like he truly enjoys and is very appreciative of all of you fans out there. And it made me change my mind about Mark Spears. Now, am I going to go chase his stuff? I don't want to, because there's so much hype behind it. But I do want to support the man by saying that that interview was absolutely wonderful. And not going to lie, I'll probably be picking up a Mark Spears comic to show support to have into my collection.
I need to get you one
because of his story, because of what is this? I did not even know he did a Transformers. Tell me
Yeah,
more
yeah.
about this. Now, see, now that he's done a Transformer book, now I'm all about it. Right? Oh, it's all about Mark Spears now. I love this guy. Which issue is
He put
this?
the bat in the gun barrel, and then also the Beat It All. I got that one too when I met him at a new comic book day. A free comic book day in Knoxville at Nirvana Comics.
I love how that looks like the old school 80s toy box art right there.
Yeah.
And I remember Zartan, the toy itself. And if no one remembers the toy itself, I remember that the Zartan toy actually changed colors. And one of his colors was that pale grayish look that he has in that. That is dope. That cover of Zartan and the Dreadnoughts, absolutely amazing. I need to know more about that.
There's a foil one and a metal one, I think, too. But like, let me tell you how cool the guy is, though. I met him at Nirvana Comics. Shout out to Nirvana Comics in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is about 40 minutes from my house in Kentucky. He was there for free comic book day. I know we said we're in it, but I got to tell you the story. So since
do it, sure.
So I go to the signing, right? And I said, you know, when you go to a signing or a con, you have a budget, right? So I was on a little bit of a shoestring budget that week because I'm on a fixed income, and I'm going to watch it tonight. I've not watched it yet, but I'm going to start watching it tonight. TM, welcome to the dairy. But so I go there. I had a set amount. I'm like, okay, I can get this sign, or this sign, right? It's like $20 a signature. I wasn't doing the verified, and I wasn't doing no CGC verification. And so I got it. You know how it is when you see stuff, you get excited, you start getting more. And he had these exclusives, like $50 for both of them. And like, I don't know if he wants me to tell this because then people will be asking him to do this when he's at a signing. But I got my book signed, and I was like, well, okay, if I get those two exclusives, I said, well, okay, I won't get these two signed, and you can put this money, on this, and then I'll just do that. And I was like, I'll just get the G.I. Joe one, and I won't get the Transformers, I guess, because he's like, no, that's all right. He said, I'll sign these two for free. Just let him have it for free. And he gave it to me. He gave me one of them for free and signed the other two books I said I was going to take away. So that's what so he's good to fans. That's all I'm going to say about him. And I appreciate it. I appreciate him doing that. He didn't have to do that. Because it's
and he looks
he's there
like
to make money,
Yeah. So. And he is the joy that I saw in his eyes during MJ's interview. Yeah. Like, it was genuine. It was absolutely genuine. Mark Spears was an absolutely genuine individual who totally appreciated what the fans did for him. And I don't want to jump on the bandwagon and say I'm a fan, but the human Mark Spears, not the artist, but the human Mark Spears, I'm a fan of that guy. And he made me believe that anything can be achievable. Just keep going. Just keep doing what you want to do. And that's what I enjoyed about that interview is that, yes, it won't happen in a year. It won't happen in 5 years, but 25 years later, he's the hottest comic book artist. That man worked for that title now. And
they all start out that way. Like, look at Todd McFarlane. Everybody sees him as an icon the icon that he truly is now. And for what he's done in the comic industry, he's got a good resume. He's got one of the best resumes, of the modern era, especially. Yeah. But like, it didn't always start out like that. He was sending out samples of his work to every company, and they rejected him. But when they told him you need to fix this, he worked on it, and he kept going back and pushing. And then when he felt he wasn't getting treated right, him and Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and Silvestri and Valentino and all those guys said, you know what? We're going to just take our ball and go home. We're going to do our own thing. Yep. And, there's a lot of bravery it takes to do something like that because they could have fell right on their face. They could have fell flat on their face.
Yeah.
So,
self-made, and just everyone that put in on Image, self-made, really. It was 7 guys that had a dream, and they're like, let's do it. And look where they're at now.
Uncompromising, too. They were like, we're not going to compromise anymore.
They broke so many rules, too, in creating comic books. And it was awesome. It was like, why can't I have a double page widespread of just a cape? Who said that was a rule? I'm about to do it anyway.
Why can't I do an entire issue where it's just a splash page?
And that's why I jumped on. I don't want to say that's why I jumped on Image, but I'm glad that they went ahead and said, no, there's rules and we're going to break them, and they did.
Yeah, and it was also like, I remember that time period. It actually made it kind of cool to be a comic fan
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Like like there were people that knew who Spawn was, like that. Not that they didn't even read comics. So
Yeah. Right.
but,
It
and
was
it's
up
also
there.
that
Yeah.
thing with Mark Spears. That's all I could tell people. Like I'm not an artist, but like if you're an artist, you just got to keep going, and hopefully if you could just keep on keeping on. I mean, he started out doing cards, and now he's I've heard he's going to be doing stuff for Marvel very soon too, and he does covers for DC, and of course he's got the Monsters book, which is great. Yeah, MJ's right. He's a sweetheart, and he's one of us. He's coming back on December. Okay, so in December, check out MJ Comic. He's going to have him back on. That'll be great. Yeah, he was very generous, MJ, by the way. It was like all that stuff he threw out. Well, you know what? We'll throw this into the giveaway.
Yeah, right.
Here, you
Like
can
he
have
was
my
giving
hat.
out his
My
hats.
signed hat.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
It's like
here's
a
a hat.
heck yeah.
Oh my God, he's 500. I don't know. I want to know how much, because I heard about that. MJ, how much someone donate for his hat? Like right off his hat, right off his head.
Well, they
Let
put it
me
all
know,
in
'cause
like that one like big bundle, and like there was one you had to buy a spot on the wheel. And I remember one guy, I think was MJ, said that like had bought $500 worth of spots on the wheel. You couldn't even see the names. There were so many names on the wheel. I even put in a spot on it, but then I had to. At that point when they put all that stuff in there, it's like
I think
you never know. It
in
might come up. You might roll a 7 or something. Might roll a hard 8. I don't know. You have to gamble on it.
So who ended up winning that bundle though? Was it
I
like
can't remember.
in our community, or is it
MJ Comics? That I have
but
no idea.
still,
Who won it.
that was
I know,
so
I know
cool.
It wasn't me, because I would still be celebrating right now, and that's probably all we would have talked about the entire show.
Hey, Emmanuel and Transformers, Mark Spears.
It was the last minute 1-2. The guy got on the board. That's right. It's like 500. I was watching the stream. I was really impressed with it went over great. It was a great success, and that was a coup to be able to get him to come on the show.
That is so awesome. Like during C3, right? Everyone was doing what they can. I tried to help out a little bit. Hey, you guys, I got an artist to submit some stuff here. To do me a favor, go ahead and sell it. We were all doing our part. But the wonderful thing about MJ is that he had one guest, one win, and he helped raise so much money off of that right there.
Yeah.
And it was engaging. It was very calm, very chill, very heartwarming. And then to see everyone come in and say, I'm donating X amount because I need a piece of this. This is history right here. And that was just a wonderful. I think I watched most of that stream too, because I wanted to support C3 and whatnot, but just hearing great questions coming out of MJ, and then just the donations coming in, and just the kind of guy Mark Spears was, that was thinking really hard about it. I want to say that MJ's C3 stream was probably
that's
probably
right. Mental Elf Collectibles, who I know, I just recently met.
Oh my goodness, and, that's insane.
And Eggplant Comics, who I know too. So I'm glad, especially happy when it's somebody I know a little bit.
I want to see their unboxings of this. This is the one thing that I want to see. I want to see the joy in these fans' faces.
And not just that interview, which was great, but like I was so impressed with like Rob and all these guys on this comp screen cancer this year, because they set a goal of $55,000 and they smashed that goal.
Yeah. No.
The bad guys. I mean, it's just like,
I'm gonna have to say no to that. They didn't smash it. We smashed it. We all did.
It was a group effort. I donated a few things. And
spearheaded by DJ and Mark and Rob for sure, 100%, and with a lot of help from Austin LeMay. But
Austin LeMay was everywhere that weekend. He was like on every show. Like of course, they all were, but and also a special shout out to Christina Payne for all she's done for that. Too. Not just that, but the community. Like, I know we turned into a love fest here, but like
we sure did.
Sometimes there can be a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
And a lot of infighting sometimes. That's like that in everything. It's like that in real life too. You're gonna have that. That's okay. But what I like is just like Christina gives a level of positivity that's unmatched, and and people can feed off that positivity. She was like that at Heroes Con, and I would argue that you're like that too, Eman. You when you go in a room, like I remember when I met you, we laughed, and we had like a ball that one night we were hanging out, and like it's just like when I left on Sunday, where everybody was, I was really bummed out that I was leaving. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But we all have to get back to our real lives.
And in the one thing, you know, that I've said over and over and over again about Heroes Con was I got to meet my friends for the first time. And that was
Exactly.
magical. That was like the best thing about Heroes Con was
And
I
honestly,
got
that's
to
why I
meet
want to go
my
back.
friends for the first time. And
It's like
Heroes Con,
it's like a class reunion or something. You know what I mean?
it
It's
is.
like, and that's why I'm going back again. I've already talked. My friend who was here earlier, I don't know if he's still here. Shout out to Cyclotronic Squirt Gun, Aaron. He's going to go, and my friend Adamantium Blade Comic Collectibles, Big Jeff,
Oh, Jeff, yeah.
who I've met in the last year, and we've become really close friends. And he's going to go. He's going to go with me. He's going to fly. Actually, he's going to fly down here, and then we're going to drive down. So,
God, you guys are driving from, was it Kentucky?
yeah, it's about 6 hours. So,
Oh, 6 hours only?
yeah, it's only 6 hours. It's not
Why
that
did I
bad.
know I was mad, dude? That, you know what? I'm pretty good with distances and stuff like that, like geography. I'm pretty good, but like when I was on the East Coast, I'm like, oh, you're from New York, so what? It took you 8 hours or 6 hours? No, it took me 12 hours. I'm like, what the
Oh, yeah,
heck?
it's for New York because that's up. Yeah, it's up north.
And
The
then
northeast. Yeah, it's
Mark saying that it only takes him like I think 4 hours, and then hearing
yeah.
you 6 hours. I'm like,
He's
wait a minute.
in Georgia, so it's
The
about 4 hours.
geography throws me off so much because it takes me 5.5 hours to get from the Bay Area to LA driving, and just
Oh, it's
like,
an insane drive. I drove with some friends one time. We went from Los Angeles to Berkeley to visit.
oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
And God, dude, I was like, man, this is the longest trip ever, but like it was worth it. We got to see basically we got to see all of California from the desert,
Yeah,
all the way up to the Bay Area. So we didn't go across the Golden Gate Bridge, but we did go across the Oakland Bay Bridge.
the Bay Bridge.
That
Yeah,
one
right in
time,
San Francisco. Yeah, I cross that bridge all the time. That, you know,
Actually, I think you were on a stream once crossing
Yeah.
that bridge. You were on
I
a bus,
was.
I think, or something.
I
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Well, guys, we tried to edit twice. We'll call this our encore part. But like, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for being here. Please give a like on the way out if you don't mind. You don't have to, but it would help. They say it helps. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll just go along with that. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to me and Eman's World of Geek. I assume everybody I saw tonight, I'm assuming is already subscribed, but that's okay. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. What series Warrior Coach to take the 1C from San Diego to SF? So nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that's like a 10.5 hour drive because you're going.
And we also got to go through. We took a detour through Big Sur because it's just beautiful.
Oh yeah, beautiful over there.
But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my special guest, Eman. He's awesome. I say he's got one of the best voices in the game. You know, if you ever quit your day job, you could have a job doing ASMR. That's all I'm going to say.
I might try to do that one day. In this page right here, we're going to go ahead and describe Mark Spears' cover. Whoa.
All right. Well, okay, guys. Well, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Sod! Snoochie boochies.